Pay cash. Avoid debt. It's the most repeated money advice on earth. And for big purchases, it can quietly cost you a fortune. Everyone from your grandmother to the guy on TV repeats it like gospel. Not because debt is good, because there's a hidden cost to cash that nobody ever calculates for you. And that cost is invisible, which is exactly why it's so dangerous. Tonight, we run the real numbers on a $50,000 purchase. Cash versus financing. The answer will surprise you. Not a small surprise, a number that will genuinely change how you think about every big purchase for the rest of your life. And I'll give you the exact interest rate where paying cash finally wins. One number. Memorize it. Below that rate, borrowing quietly wins. Above it, cash is king. You'll never guess wrong again. Meet Alex. He just bought a $50,000 truck. Paid cash, zero debt. He feels like a genius. He posted it online. 300 likes. Debt-free, baby. The comments are all applause. His friends applaud. His dad is proud. But watch what that cash was really worth. Because feeling like a genius and being one are two very different things when it comes to money. Because money has a job. Every dollar can either sit still or go to work and multiply. There is no third option. Money is either earning or it's idle. Idle money is silently losing to inflation every single day. When Jake handed over $50,000 in cash, that money stopped working forever. That's the hidden cost. For 5 years, 10 years, however long that truck sits in his driveway losing value, economists have a name for it. Opportunity cost. The return you gave up by using that money here instead of there. It's the most important concept in finance that almost nobody applies to their daily decisions. And here's the thing about cars, trucks, and most big purchases. They lose value no matter what. A new truck loses 20% the moment you drive it off the lot. That happens to Jake and to anyone else identically. So whether you pay cash or finance, the truck depreciates the same. That part doesn't change. What changes is where your $50,000 goes. And that single decision, repeated over a lifetime of purchases, is worth more than most people's entire retirement savings. Let's set up the experiment. 2 men, same truck, same $50,000. One pays cash, one finances and invests. Everything else is identical. Same job, same income, same truck in the driveway. Only the money strategy differs. Alex pays cash. $50,000, gone. He owns the truck outright. His investment account? Zero. He feels secure. No payments, no bank, no interest, and on the surface that feels like winning. Now meet Ethan, same truck. But Ethan finances it at 6% over 5 years. Not because Ethan loves debt. Because Ethan understands what his $50,000 can do if he keeps it. Ethan keeps his $50,000. He invests it in a simple index fund, and he makes monthly truck payments from his salary, about $966 a month, comfortably inside his budget. Yes, Victor pays interest, about $8,000 over 5 years. That sounds terrible, right? $8,000 handed to the bank for the privilege of borrowing. Jake would never do something so foolish, right? Hold that thought. Because while he's paying that interest, his $50,000 is doing something in the market. That's the part your brain skips. It sees the interest and stops calculating. The wealthy never stop there. At historical market returns of around 8% over those same 5 years, watch what happens. Not a fantasy return, not crypto, just the boring historical average of a simple index fund over decades. $50,000 growing at 8% for 5 years becomes about $73,500. $23,500 of pure growth while he comfortably paid off the truck from his salary. That's a gain of $23,500. Money Jake never made because his cash was frozen in a truck. His money didn't just sit there. It went to work and hired more money. So let's tally the real score after 5 years. This is where it gets brutal, because the numbers are about to say something your gut will resist. Alex owns the truck, paid no interest, but his $50,000 earned nothing. Net position from the money, zero. He avoided $8,000 in interest, yes, but he also avoided $23,000 in gains. That's not a win. That's a trade he didn't know he was making. Ethan owns the same truck, paid $8,000 in interest, but earned $23,500 investing. Same driveway, same truck, same starting point. But one account is empty and one is thriving. $23,500 earned, minus $8,000 paid. Ahead by $15,500. $15,500 richer for making the exact same purchase. That is the cost of the cash advice nobody warns you about. Same truck, same starting money. One choice made $15,000 appear out of thin air, and Jake will never see it because you can't miss money you never knew you could have made. And that gap gets wider every single year after. Over the life of a car loan repeated across decades, hundreds of thousands. That's a paid-off house, a kid's college, years of your life bought back. All from understanding one idea. Now, before you go finance everything you see, stop. This math has one critical condition. Miss this and you'll turn a smart strategy into a fast road to ruin. It only works if you actually invest the cash you kept. Every dollar. Not spend it. Invest it. This is the single point where 90% of people who hear this advice go wrong. If Victor had financed the truck and then blown his $50,000 on vacations, he'd be the fool, not Jake. The strategy is only as good as the discipline behind it. No discipline, no strategy. This is why paying cash exists as advice at all. It's protection from ourselves. Forced discipline. It removes the temptation entirely by removing the money entirely. For millions of people, that's genuinely the right answer. For someone who won't invest the difference, cash is the smarter move. Discipline beats theory every time. There is zero shame in knowing yourself well enough to choose the guardrail. But if you have the discipline to invest, paying cash for a depreciating asset is often the expensive choice. You're leaving real compounding money on the table every time you hand over cash out of fear. Now to the rule I promised. The exact interest rate where the math flips. After this, you'll evaluate every loan offer in about 10 seconds flat. It's beautifully simple. Compare two numbers, the interest rate on your loan and the return you expect from investing. That's it. That's the entire secret the finance industry dresses up in complicated language. If your loan rate is lower than your expected investment return, financing wins. Keep your cash and invest it. You're essentially borrowing at a low price to earn at a higher one. That spread is yours to keep. If your loan rate is higher than what you'd earn investing, pay cash. The debt costs more than the money could make. In that case, the guaranteed cost of the debt beats the uncertain return of the market. Cash is the clear winner. For most people, the long-term market return sits around 7 to 8% after inflation. Some years it's up 30%, some years down 20%. But averaged over a decade or two, 7 to 8 is the reliable benchmark. So here's your break-even line. Any loan under about 6%? Financing likely wins if you invest the difference. Under 6, you're likely borrowing cheaper than you can earn. Above 8, the debt is probably winning. In between, it depends on your risk appetite. A car loan at 3%? Finance it and invest. A 0% promotional offer? Take it every single time. Free money to borrow while yours compounds. Dealerships offer it precisely because most people don't understand how valuable it is. But a credit card at 22%? Pay that off immediately. No investment reliably beats 22%. There is no legal, reliable investment that returns 22%. That debt is an emergency. Treat it like your hair is on fire. That's the whole framework. Loan rate versus investment return. You can run any purchase in 10 seconds. No spreadsheet, no advisor, no complicated formula. Just 2 percentages and a moment of honest thinking. This is exactly how wealthy people think about debt. Not as good or evil, as a tool with a price. They don't feel guilty about a low-rate loan and they don't feel proud about paying cash. They feel nothing. They just do the math. If the tool costs less than what it lets you keep and grow, they use it. Simple. Unemotional, mathematical. Emotion is what the finance industry sells you. Math is what the wealthy quietly use instead. Which brings us to the distinction that changes everything: good debt versus bad debt. Get this one distinction right and you'll never be confused about borrowing again. Bad debt borrows against your future to buy things that lose value or disappear. Credit card splurges, financing dinners. It's the debt that owns you. Every payment steals from the person you're trying to become. Good debt is cheap money that buys assets or keeps your cash free to grow. Low-rate loans on things you'd buy anyway. It's the debt you own, a tool you picked up on purpose because the numbers made sense. The bank makes money either way. Your job is to make sure you do too. Robert has watched thousands of customers on both sides of that line. The ones who understood it built wealth. The ones who didn't built payments. So let me be crystal clear, because this video is not a license to drown in debt. Used carelessly, everything I just showed you becomes a trap instead of a tool. There are times when paying cash is absolutely the right call. Here are the 4 situations where cash wins. Memorize these. They're your protection against turning a good idea into a disaster. 1. The interest rate is high. Anything above your expected investment return, pay cash and don't look back. The math is simple. If the debt costs more than you can earn, the debt wins and you lose. Pay it off. 2. You won't actually invest the difference. Be honest with yourself. If it'll get spent, cash protects you. The fanciest strategy in the world means nothing if you won't follow through. Cash forces the outcome. 3. The payment would stress your budget. Debt that keeps you awake at night isn't worth any theoretical gain. Financial peace has a value that no spreadsheet can capture. Sometimes the calmest choice is the richest one. 4. It's a true emergency fund purchase. Some things you just handle in cash and move on with your life. A $500 repair, a medical bill, a broken appliance. Not everything needs a strategy. Some things just need handling. Miss all 4 of those, then cheap financing plus disciplined investing quietly builds you a second fortune. Quietly, boringly, automatically, year after year, until one day the numbers are life-changing. Let me show you what this looks like over a lifetime. 2 people, identical incomes, different debt philosophy. One believes all debt is evil, the other believes debt is a tool. Watch where they end up. The cash-only person avoids all interest, feels safe, and retires comfortable. Nothing wrong with that. They slept well every night, never owed a soul, and that peace was worth something real to them. The strategic borrower used cheap debt, invested every spare dollar, and retired with nearly double. Not because they earned more, but because they let their money work in 2 places at once for decades. Same salary, same years. The only difference was understanding that debt is a tool, not a moral failing. That single mental shift, compounded across a lifetime, was worth more than any raise either of them ever got. Your parents said avoid debt, because for them, and for most people, it was the safe default. And safe isn't wrong. They lived through times when interest rates were brutal and investing felt like gambling. Caution kept them safe. But safe and optimal aren't always the same thing. And now you know the difference. So here's your homework. The rules changed, the tools changed, and the person who updates their thinking wins. Step 1. Look at any debt you have right now. Write down its interest rate next to 7%. Every card, every car loan, every student loan. Get the real number in front of you. Anything above 7%, make a plan to kill it fast. That debt is beating your investments. Interest above your expected return is a guaranteed loss you're volunteering for every month. Step 2. Before your next big cash purchase, ask one question. Could this money earn more invested than the loan would cost? That single question, asked honestly, will save you more money than any coupon or sale ever will. Step 3. And this is the one that matters most. Whatever you choose, invest the difference automatically. That's the real engine. Set it up once, automatically, and let time and compounding do the heavy lifting while you live your life. Because the secret was never cash versus debt. It was always cash working versus cash sleeping. Master that one distinction and you've understood more about money than most people learn in a lifetime. Drop it in the comments. What's the interest rate on your biggest debt right now? Let's run the math together. I read everyone, and I'll help you run the numbers on your exact situation. Best comment section on Finance YouTube. Next week, the savings account trap. Why the safest place for your money is quietly making you poorer. It sounds impossible. The safest account you own could be the one costing you the most. Robert explains exactly how. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Nobody else is teaching you to think like this. One idea like tonight's, truly understood, can be worth more than a decade of raises. Stop asking if debt is good or bad. Start asking what it costs and what it lets you keep. Answer those two questions, and you'll make richer decisions than 90% of people for the rest of your life. Think rich, build wealth. This is Mind Money.